This is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I have Dodger super fan all the way from Australia, Damon Mclean. McLean, I want to get that right.
McLean.
I love your accent, first of all. How did you become a Dodger fan all the way in Australia?
Oh, well, 1988. We didn't have MLB apps back then, but all we had was a VCR. And my dad recorded the World Series for me. And I was already a baseball player, and so was my dad before me. But I'd never had a lot of exposure to MLB, and that was really the first of it for me. So I would sit there and watch those tapes over and over and over again. Hershiser was the bomb.
Yeah, and you got to realize how good that Oakland team was. That team was considered unbeatable, and the Dodgers were shorthanded. They beat the Mets. I went to Shea Stadium when the Mets destroyed the Dodgers. I said they'll kill them in the playoffs. They beat the Mets. Yeah. And when they beat the Mets, I said they're going to beat the A's. I said that was a team they couldn't beat. They're not going to be scared of the A's, and they weren't. Gibson hits that home run. Kershaw was untouchable, and they ended up winning. And that was my dad's favorite manager, Lasorda. He never grew on Roberts. I always told him Roberts is good, but he was a Lasorda, Walter Alston guy. So, right. But now let's get into. Let's go back to last year, and I want to make a very important point.
Yep.
There was an important home run that got hit, and I'm gonna go through the Dodger home runs where they won championships. 55. Yep. Duke Snider hit 4 home runs. They had never beat the Yankees. They were the bums. They win that. They turn around from being down 0-2, and they win. 1981, because the whole 70s they were losing to the Yankees. They were choking away leads. 1981. Rick Monday hits a home run against the Expos. That was Fernando Mania. And that was when they came back 2-0 on the Yankees. But that home run got them started. Kirk Gibson's home run. I make this contention, and you think about this. The homer that Will Smith hit, down 3-1, you're losing 2-1, and they're saying, here we go again. The Dodgers are going to choke again. The homer he hit, I felt like it relaxed the Dodgers. And they said, okay, we're going to win now. That changed the entire – I understand Belger's homer against Tampa, but that homer is Will Smith homering off Will Smith down 2-1, and the pressure was mounting. Down 3-1 in the series. He hits that homer, you got the lead. That was it. And you never look back. What do you think about that?
That absolutely. That was a massive turning point, one of the biggest in Dodger history. Absolutely. And everyone was feeling down right up until that point. But there was all of a sudden just a feeling of, you know what? It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Down 3-1, just won a game. We're going to be okay. And everyone just felt it. It's hard to say. It really is, because I guess our Dodger fan base knew that what we were seeing in the first 3 games of that series was not our team. Then all of a sudden we started to see our team starting to come back.
Yes, you sure did. And that was a great, and you ended up finally winning the last out against Tampa. Finally, you win the championship. How do you feel?
Nothing, like nothing else.
I understand.
Like nothing else. I have dreamed of that moment for a very long time. I've dreamed of what I would be doing, where I would be, who I would be with to celebrate. I had no idea that would be in the middle of a global pandemic.
Yeah.
It was just insane.
It was really grit and hard. I understand, because when the Cubs won in 2016, I stared at the TV because I couldn't believe it. Yeah. After all these years, I never in my lifetime thought I was going to see a Cub championship. And I became a Cub fan because of Sammy Sosa. So I was like, man, I did not know the history. And they ended up winning. Addison Russell hit the homer against the Dodgers in Game 4 when the Dodgers were about to pull away. That was the biggest home run of the championship year, because it turned the series. Because you guys were just about, but you weren't ready yet. You were ready last year. Last year you had more talent, and I feel like you were better. Now this series against the Mets, who were hard to beat in Citi Field. The first 2 games, the Mets had you on the ropes, and you showed the grit and the heart of a champion. I want you to explain that.
Well, we have had a lot of opportunities to win in extra innings this year, a lot, and we've failed at all. But I think one of them, up until this point, we've also lost a lot of one-run games this year.
Yeah.
It's just some sort of a strange anomaly that such a good, deep team could be so poor in clutch moments. But all of a sudden, it just came together. And I think it required a little bit of confidence. I mean, you know all about clutch. Clutch means confidence. You need confidence to have clutch.
But but last year's winning it, you don't panic now. Now in that situation, the Mets get 4 runs. You're like, okay, you hit me with your punch. Now we're gonna throw our punch. We're gonna be able to sustain it. And that was a clutch wins. I'm gonna say this: Max Muncy is laser focused.
Oh yes,
you know where I'm going with that.
See what you did there. Yes, that was a very weird thing to see happening in a place like New York, who has so much class.
Yeah, I was at Citi Field last week. The Braves, they're beautiful fans.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Dodger Stadium a little better because of the old nostalgia. I'm a baseball historian. So I liked the old Yankee Stadium and the old Dodger Stadium where I went to LA and they were very nice to me. They're sympathetic though. They were like, we can't heckle. He's going through enough. We're not heckling him. So we had a lot of fun at the stadium. The Dodger dogs are delicious. You been out here? LA? You been out to LA? You got to come out there.
I've been at LAX doing a transfer for about 3 hours and I did not have enough time to get to the stadium and back to the airport.
It was a great experience. Yeah, you gotta go. It's a great experience. But I love your hitters. Chris Taylor is like, he's got 113 hits. Muncy's got 66 RBIs. He's on fire. The Mets probably poked the bear too much. He was on fire this series. I would walk him under pressure. I don't think I want to pitch to Max Muncy with the game on the line. But then you got to deal with Turner. And you got to deal with Chris Taylor, who's You can't just walk. You can't walk 3 guys intentionally in a row. And then Mookie Betts is coming back. Good gosh.
Yeah. He will. He's just going to manage his pain.
Now look at how great your GM is. To me, you have 3 Hall of Famers: Buehler, Kershaw, and now Scherzer. All tough-minded money pitchers. Kershaw got the monkey off his back, so he's going to pitch even better. They load manage him, so you're not going to kill him. Urias is good. So everything's coming in place. Your GM is so good. This is our Chicago Cubs GM. This is what he did during trade deadline.
Yeah.
After all the players are gone, I'm going to sleep. That's our GM. Oh boy! But this year, I admire that you guys are putting your chips on the table and you're playing like you didn't win last year. You're still hungry. I see that in you guys.
Yes, but it could be hungrier. There have been moments this year where we had a slump for a month, maybe 3 weeks. I think it was just a horrible April. It was bad, but all wins, all games have the same value in April as they are in September.
But all champions start off a little slow in every sport. If you notice, they get the other team's best shots, or they got to get their bearings right. And I think that's where you guys are right now. Yeah.
So it's just a matter of letting the Giants lose a few games and catching up that way. I think if we can keep the nose to the grindstone and keep getting the W's and hope that they falter enough to allow the Dodgers back in.
I saw their schedule. They have a very tough schedule up until September 24th. I think you need to try to break even with them, because then they get the Rockies and Arizona at the end of the year, and they're there. Forget that. But they have Milwaukee a couple of times. Maybe the Mets kind of get them a couple of times. So they got some tough teams coming up. The blown saves in LA against the Giants kept them in first. They're not in first without those blown saves in LA. That's why
That's why when we're 10 runs up on the Mets and we know we have Kenley Jansen in that bullpen, we know we still need insurance runs.
Mm-hmm. So that's my next question. Now, when the championship is on the line, your second ring is going to come down to winning the 7th through 9th innings when you have Knuble who's balling out and Jansen. If you're only up a run, you need those 3 outs. Can you get the outs against the Giants or the Brewers or Tampa or those cheating bums in Houston? If you see those bums again, I call them bums. I'll never acknowledge that they won the championship. I don't care what Astro fans will come at me, because you understand how hard it is to win a championship and finally come through all the work that my Cubbies put in to come back from 3-1 on Cleveland to beat the Dodgers and Giants, and the Cubs never beat the Dodgers, and they did, and they put in the work. And to see a team cheat like Houston, I'll never acknowledge those bums, and I'm always call them bums. I hate that because I like Dusty Baker, but the rest of those bums, and you might see them. You might get a chance to revenge if they could get there. They're still good, but you might see Tampa. Tampa's got grit, man. You might see a rematch. If the Dodgers get in, you might see Tampa. Tampa's got heart. They'll lose Snell. They'll lose players, and they keep winning.
That's right. They are hard. They're very hard. Also, I think White Sox are a very good chance.
Very good chance. White Sox are good. If the Yankees see out here where I live, the Yankees could just stop blowing saves, I would put them up. I can't trust them yet. I got to see, because they got the talent. I got to see if they have the heart. So I'm not sure about that. I want to see the Dodgers and Yankees. That's my dream matchup. But I don't know if I'm going to see it. Who's your biggest threat in the National League?
Oh, well, the obvious answer would be the Giants, but the Brewers are also
there you go
up there.
There you go. That was my team because of Hader and Williams in that back end and Woodruff and the way they're pitching and they've been there. They could knock off the Giants. You might not even see the Giants. The Brewers are run to, and like you said, that's how I know you know your stuff. I follow you. Tell me about your Instagram, because I love your Instagram, man.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it all just started out as just a way of having some sort of an outlet with, telling some jokes or giving people a chance to have a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of represents who I am in person. I'm really serious to my own detriment sometimes.
Yeah, but you almost hate the Astros more than I do. Boy, do I love you, Astros. I really dislike what they did. I really do.
Yeah, me too. It's I mean, you were not so much of a victim.
Mm-hmm.
We
you were the victim.
Yankees were victims.
Yeah.
The Yankees and Dodgers definitely were victims. It probably should have been a Yankees-Dodgers World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? We will never know what that outcome would have been. But all we know is that they didn't do it the right way.
No.
You and I have teams that did. We know what counted.
Yep.
We know what we had to do to get there. And we know that we didn't take any shortcuts. But they had the cheek to, you got me started now.
I know. I understand. It makes me mad when I think about it.
Yeah. But they had all this PR stuff out there. They were taking photos of themselves, using those photos and using the slogan earned.
It's baloney.
No.
It's baloney.
Nothing was earned.
And all those good players, I lost all respect for all those good players. They didn't have to do that. You just play with all that talent you had, and now you're stained for forever. We don't scrub that garbage off.
And they'll tell you that they'll be the first people to tell you that they didn't have to do it. But
well, why did you do it anyway?
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
But if you could avoid, if you get out of the wild card, if you don't make it and you get out of the wild card, you end up in the playoffs, I think you're going to be okay. That wild card's a little tricky. Trying to catch the Giants, you got to hope that maybe the Mets catch fire. But if you get in, you got that heart, you got that desire. Now you got a real gamer in Scherzer. You got a gamer in Scherzer. That guy hates losing, boy. Trey Turner, who's a monster on the base path. Mookie
Yeah,
Betts, who's a money player.
yeah,
I hope Chris Taylor gets the love they deserves because he could get lost in the shuffle, but he gets a lot of clutch hits. And of course, our guy Will Smith,
yes,
who just hits homer after homer in the seventh, eighth, and ninth inning.
yeah. He's brilliant. He's really coming into his own. He's got a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more work to do with his game calling and his defense, but offensively, he's doing fantastic.
Yeah,
Really switched on hitter.
but are you concerned about the closers? Because Knubel's great. Jansen is just
He's a roller coaster, and that's um, I explained it to some friends the other day. I think I'm about one bad outing away from slandering him.
I know.
It's so tense
You know, it's
when he comes out
crazy.
there.
If he has a bad outing, I rush to your Instagram because I know something's coming. I rush to your Instagram because I know something's coming. And my guy, the live streamer, what's his name? I'm putting him on my show tomorrow. He's going to come on my show tomorrow. He does such a great job. Danny, shout out to Danny. He does a great job. As a Cub fan, I will stay up late because he's so entertaining. And I'll watch it because I don't have it on TV, and my team stinks. So I said, let me watch a good game, and he's entertaining. He keeps it going. So I was like, I got to get this guy on because I want to see his face. There's always
it's no fluke. He's got 20-something thousand followers.
20,000 followers, and with you, you'll show your face. You'll show different things. My niece Michaela loves you, by the way. Remember, I told you.
Michaela.
Yes. She's a little concerned because she doesn't want you going in the backyard about the snakes and the different animals in Australia. She expressed me her concern about your safety when you go out there. So you're okay, right?
Sweet. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. We have the snakes under control. This is how we control our snakes. We found that chickens sometimes bring snakes, but that's only if you throw the chicken food on the ground. And then the mice come along and eat the chicken food that's left over on the ground, and then the snakes come along for the mice. So we have automatic dispensers for the chicken food.
Really? Beautiful, brilliant.
So therefore we know we're okay. So tell Michaela I appreciate her concern.
Okay.
Thank you. But we're okay. We're doing okay. We got lots of kangaroos over the road.
I'm going to turn her into a Yankee or Dodger fan. I'm like, she's not suffering what I'm doing. She's not going to go through what I'm going through.
Just go with choice B, Dodgers. Just go. Not Yankees or.
Ain't gonna be no choice C. Ain't gonna be the Cubs. I'm not putting her. I'm not gonna have her wait till 2080 to win another World Series. We're not doing that. But I
feel your pain.
Yeah, if I put her on a Dodger hat, and I might take a picture because I got to be with her Sunday, and then I might send that to you, man. Because she was watching the Dodgers game and they were winning. She says, "I love those colors." She says their colors are beautiful, so she likes your color scheme. So an 8-year-old.
She's off to a good start.
Off to a good start, you know?
Yeah. Does she know any players' names?
She doesn't know any play. Well, Sunday when she comes over, I'll show her because it'll be live streamed. I'll show her. But anyway, are you feeling good about the Dodgers?
I am. I have a positive attitude when it comes to this team. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard sometimes with the roller coasters of the season. But when we got to that point last year when we were down 3-1 against the Braves, and I knew that it was a turning point, one thing that was getting myself and so many others around me who like to think positively was all the people who come along and think negatively and say, they're just going to choke. I'm talking Dodger fans.
I know.
They're just going to say things like they're going to choke or someone's going to blow it or this person's going to, or Dave Roberts is going to blow it. So I thought, how am I going to do something to encourage our fan base to start picking their act up a little bit, being a little bit more positive? And I thought about it while I was doing some work around the house, and then it dawned on me. I thought, how about if I empower people? And what I did is I created a post, probably took me 20 takes. Nice. So I created a post and I said that I'm a genie, and that's a true story. And I have the ability to give you the power to control the outcome of every Dodger game from here on by using your emotions, by using your mindset. If you think positively, you'll have good outcomes. And look, you and I know that's a load of baloney,
Hmm.
but it was a bit of fun, and it was just something just to help people lift their spirits and remind people that we don't all want to see negativity. We don't all want
Please,
to just
yeah.
have to fight off. We're having troubles with our own emotions rather than
Yeah.
having to lift everyone else's emotions as well. So that seemed to be a little bit of a popular video that went out there, and a lot of people. So Danny was replaying that on his live feeds,
Danny is a guy.
and
Listen,
that made me really happy.
I'm gonna have Danny on tomorrow. I got you on today. Finally, what in the world are you gonna post tonight after this beatdown of the Mets?
Oh, I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I've been a little bit quiet lately.
I'm saying
In the last
before I
week.
go to sleep, I gotta rush to your site. That's what you and Danny after a win or a loss, man.
Yeah, well, I think what I was thinking about saying today is that it's great that we had a sweep. Yeah, sure, it's great that we won by 10 runs, but that's not important right now. What's important is that gap, the
Mm-hmm.
gap in the top of the NLW. So
Mm-hmm.
that what four games now. So that's the most important thing to us right now. Sweeps, yeah, sure, they're great. We were collecting them last year and the year before that. We were getting bags full of sweeps, but that doesn't matter anymore. What matters is just closing that gap and getting on top. Because in the last few years, we were in first place by around about now.
All the time,
And
every year.
yeah, and 4 games is a big gap when you've got a Giants team that just doesn't seem to want to lose unless they're playing a random club like the Rockies or the Diamondbacks, who will come along and just surprise you.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Max Muncy hits the ball well in Frisco. He loves to hit the ball. Ask Bumgardner. Oh
Oh
my
yes,
goodness, he loves. You
yes,
got 3 in Frisco coming up.
yeah, doink. That's what he does. He makes that ball go doink.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. He's
yeah,
getting better. He's getting
yeah.
better.
And top deck, he's got that kind of a swing that you just put a bit of power behind it. He'll supply the rest.
Yeah.
He'll send it.
Hey, he's not
Mm,
swinging at bad balls. He takes
mm,
pitches. So you got to throw the
mm,
ball on the plate. He can hit all the pitches. He's
mm.
amazing. So
He is.
what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let you go, but you got to come back before the playoffs or before the Padre series. Because we didn't get
We
to the
will do that.
Padres. I want to do a whole thing on the Padres.
Oh
So
wow, that's going to be fun.
yes. So I will send you the email and we'll do that again. This was a terrific job by you. I'm so happy I finally got to get you and my
Oh,
audience.
glad to
Let
talk to you.
everybody know my site, Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm gonna send you the link. Tell everybody in Australia, tell all your fans. I'm always gonna keep it real, good or bad. I'm gonna tell the
Good.
truth. So
Yep.
we can leave it off here. Great job by you, Damon.